Good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome back. We are definitely on the roundtable talk. Let me mute that right fast. So, I bet y'all wondering what are you laughing at? That music. I was laughing at our music for the day. But definitely, welcome back to the Roundtable Talk Show. I'm your host, Christopher Unk Jones. Tonight, we're cutting the lights on. No music, no parades, no more vague talk about progress. Okay? So, we are talking about, well, before we get into that, let me throw this disclaimer. This show does not, and me hosting it, does not reflect any of the decisions and or approach of any nonprofit organizations that I'm affiliated with and or other people's opinions. These are my opinions. So, and respect my hosts, my co-hosts as well, because these are their opinions based and lined in fact. So, we're talking about a $264 million bond that is about to handcuff this city to decades of debt. And they expect you just to nod, vote, and walk away, right? But this ain't about sidewalks and parks. It's about side deals and pockets. They're dressing this bond up like it's for the community, right? But when you open it up and dig deep inside to find some of these projects or that's proposed, you will find it's a whole different story. I mean, a complete different story. Mind you, there are very little addresses listed, or 100 blocks, or a block distance, right? It's just streets. There's no real equity plan. I remember somebody last week mentioning equity. There is no equity for the populace in this proposal. No hiring strategy. Again, even with the proposed expansion of the police department, there is no hiring that has happened, let alone securing um, firefighters and paramedics. So, you know, and there is no guarantee that our neighborhoods will see a dime. Don't get me wrong, I understand that there are certain things on this bond that ties directly into or directly to me as a resident on Doucette Street. But I do want you all to know that Doucette being renovated has nothing to do with the residents that are currently on there, and I'll tell you why as we continue this show. So tonight we are going to strip it all bare, 100% all the way down. Not just to say no, but to show us
So tonight,
why our no is a weapon and what we can do uh to demand things in return. Welcome, welcome, welcome again to the Roundtable Talk Show. And as you know, I don't sit at this table alone. I definitely have my co-host with me, and we have on this evening a special guest co-host coming back to the roundtable from 2002, 2001, 2019. Yeah, 2019. That's how long this special guest has been rocking with the Roundtable Talk Show. So I'm glad to have him back on. He's one of the original people. But I have Dr. Catherine Campbell with me. Say hello to the people, Queen.
Good evening, everybody.
Of course, you know that voice you just heard. That's the voice that sees through the paperwork and pulls the people out of the margins. How about it? Of course, I have my big brother with me, Perry Busby. Say hello to the people, big bro.
good evening to all these OG, triple OGs, quadruple OGs out here. Glad to be
Listen,
with y'all this evening.
Quadruple OGs. Golly. Of course, this is the man who don't just follow the money, he follows the motive, all backed by data. And then, of course, I have my battle buddy with me, Dustin Harris. Salute to my brother, man. Say hello to the people, Dustin. Hey, everybody.
What's that?
What's happening? Of course, he's the one who translates confusion into clarity and breaks down policies so your grandmother and your grandbaby can both understand it. And then I have my big brother, my other big brother, aka my cousin. Terry Roy is definitely in this space, shaking up like he always do, speaking truth and putting people in positions of power. We appreciate you coming on this evening. Say hello to the people, Terry Roy.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Hey, Kat. Hey,
Hey,
Chris.
Terry.
Yeah, everybody good?
All
Everybody
is
good.
well.
Everybody good. Everybody good.
Of course, you know, we have our platform host, the host of the Roundtable, I'm sorry, the Knowledge is Power podcast live, and the platform host of the Knowledge is Power, um, Tony Renfro. Man, we appreciate you being at the table. I'm just letting you know we can see you, so I'm calling out everybody that we can see.
Hey, what's happening, everybody?
What's up,
Hey,
What's
Tony?
Chris.
happening, everybody?
Tony.
Hey,
Yes,
What's up?
indeed.
What's up?
okay, well, I'll be backstage listening. Uh,
Absolutely.
guys, you'll have a great show. The Roundtable Talk on the Knowledge of Power podcast platform. Hey, guys, y'all keep kicking it.
We're going to do it. Let's get into segment one, you all. Y'all ready?
Ready.
Go for it.
Awesome. Segment one, the props unwrapped. That's the name of our topic for this particular segment. Our subtitle: Roads, Arenas, and Riverfronts, but not your block. Let's start with what they're pitching, you all. Um, the so-called meat on the bond, meat of the bone, meat on the bond. Yeah, meat of the bond. Yeah.
Pun intended, huh?
Yeah, right. Pun intended, right? I hope they called it. Proposition 8 is $58 million for streets and drainage. But here's the question: which streets? And they better not say Sycamore and Carroll because there's no residents that live on Sycamore and or Carroll Street. There
Mhm.
is two industries that are on Sycamore and Carroll. Mind you, ExxonMobil and the Port of Beaumont are accessed to um, Sycamore and Carroll, as well as Martin, as well as Arkema, as well as ExxonMobil blending and packaging plant. So, who, as residents, are voting for Carroll Street and Sycamore Street when we know that there is no residential plan to come into that space because, according to the EPA, the demand was to create a buffer zone between industry. Thus, the line or where they should be talking about doing a street is Hemlock and Verone. But that's not the case. So um, they got they got a list. It's very small, especially if you're expecting the entire citizens of Beaumont to to vote for this bond. No map, of course. People are still trying to figure out where Doucette is, and Doucette is also on the list. Mind you, all, God bless you. I am a resident.
My
I
wife
live in
sneezing
the
loud,
one.
ain't she?
I know she did. God bless the truth, Queen. um, but there is, there are several residents on Doucette. But I do also want you to know that Doucette is also the street that leads to the front gate of ExxonMobil. So you do what you want with that information. And ExxonMobil is dear and near to my heart as a neighbor, an industrial neighbor living in the South End. But guess what? Not on no bond. Not on no bond. No public record of where the money actually going. And some of the streets been promised since 2011. Mind you, Avenue A, um, Miss Gethra Williams Wright, rest in peace. advocated for a thoroughly redone Avenue A. That was the monies that were there in a uh, capital project, by the way, was reallocated and moved from Avenue A to somewhere else. And one of the main reasons why it was removed or reallocated is because they found out that the developer of Avenue A put the water line underneath the railroad track. So do with that information as you so shall. And again, you got Doucet on the list as if we weren't told in 2011 that after you completed Madison, you would start on Doucet. Also, twice between now and maybe 4 years ago, our elected representative of Ward 3 at that time told us that Doucet was on the list to be redone. Now it's on a bond. Make that make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. Follow these streets. Go along the lines of some of these streets that are allegedly in the proposition for street repairs. Proposition B, $147 million. dollars. That's over half of the bond because it's 246 million, but 147 million of the bond. What is it for?
There's
A new police
264.
headquarters? Yes, 264. My apologies. A new police headquarters? A fire station additions, and wait, 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 a $49 million multi-purpose arena. And here it is, there is no public-private partnership to bring forth this multi-purpose arena. Then on top of that, the fire station and EMS, because that's one department now, have trouble acquiring manpower to man particular apparatuses as well as box trucks. And if I'm lying behind what's being shown to you on a daily basis. So ask them to straighten out what they telling us in silence or in secrecy so that we won't come out and say these things that we're saying. You got neighborhoods where EMS response times are dragging, like I said, or even considered blackouts, but we're building new buildings we don't even have staff for. Make that make sense. How long have y'all seen Beaumont fire department and Beaumont police department is hiring on College Street at the corner by ATB? A bunch of times. And I promise you've seen it for years. I've seen it for years. I know you have. Proposition C is $37 million for parks, but 25 million goes to Terra Park and Alice Keat. Mind you, that's not to embolden Alice Keat. That's for the golf. That's for golf. That's for golfers. Um, I'm sorry, at Terra Park. That's for golfers. Alice Keith, on the other hand, received $2 million from the state of Texas. And then the city decides to put Alice Keith's development into Proposition C. Mind you, it's tucked inside the animal shelter line item that that ain't oversight, y'all. That's deception by design. And if we continue to allow individuals that are elected and are our friends, or appointed and are our family members, or business owners that's applying for some of these bids, that's deception. They're deceiving you and if I was you, I would ask for at least 1 million. Proposition D and E, which is the riverfront enhancements and road extension, and a road extension, not one, but I mean not all of them, but one, which might sound nice until you realize it's all next to property or on property already owned by developers who are waiting for this payday. Mr. Parigi, thank you for showing us in an outline of where this proposed street will go. But I do want you to understand, sir. You got a street from us already, didn't you? And it wasn't in a bond. It wasn't even in a capital improvement project. It wasn't even on the capital. It wasn't even part of the capital plans. But you got a street that leads from the rear side of Park Del Mall all the way to Major Drive. Um, make that make sense with no development. If you want a street, Mr. Developers or the developers, you develop it, not on the behest or out of the pockets of the taxpayers. So I ask you, is this bond investing in the people or property lines? Let's get some power shots in here. Miss Cat, you ready for your shot?
I'm first. Okay. I'm ready.
She stay ready. Dr. Campbell, break it down. If they can't name which streets, what stops them from fixing the same areas twice while others never get touched?
What stops them? Hmm. In reality, nothing but accountability and transparency.
Hmm.
If the bond language doesn't name specific streets or addresses, then the decision about where the money goes is left up to the same officials and staff after the bond passes. Without a clear project list, funds can absolutely end up concentrated in the same areas that already received attention, while neglected neighborhoods remain untouched. The only real safeguards are detailed project lists written into the bond so spending is legally tied to them, public oversight and
Mhm,
reporting requirements so residents can see where each dollar goes, and
mhm,
equity language in the bond to ensure spread across districts, not just repeat fixes. Without those, your concern is valid. Money
mhm.
could be spent fixing the same streets over and over while others are ignored. If you can't tell which streets or addresses are in this bond, what prevents the city from spending the dollars fixing the same streets over and over while whole neighborhoods never get touched? Where is the guarantee of equity and accountability? Our neighborhoods have been neglected at least 43 years in this same manner with no questions asked. It's time for us to ask the hard questions, y'all.
Absolutely, Queen. I agree. I agree. Ooh, we. I'm not gonna even touch back on it. Perry, you ready for your shot?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Golly, man. All right, Perry, pull the thread. Like, I mean, unravel it in your finger. Like you floss. What happens when more than half of the money that is in this bond is tied up in buildings we can't staff? And who carries the cost, especially when it sits empty? Who carries the cost?
I know you asked that somewhat rhetorically, uh, because who owns it is the one who says they are for it. And so the city, and whether or not you say you're for it or not, you will be held accountable to it. I mean,
Hmm.
it's not as if the uh, financial institutions are going to ask for the signatures of every voter that's for it. The city of Beaumont as a whole. But one of the things I want to point out in this is that if and again, no, I, I'm not trying to run afoul of PETA or any animal rights group, but one of the sure signs of a decaying community is the increase in abandoned animals. Another sure sign of a decaying community is an increase in crime. There is no denying that under Republican administrations and Republican rule, those two things seem to go in lockstep.
Hmm.
Again, the numbers show it. It's not just this is not opinion. It shows that under Republican administration, there is an increase in crime. There is an increase in abandonment because Republicans are more committed to the uplift and empowerment of big business.
Exactly. And most of them are
And
investors.
right. And this is not to let Democrats off the hook too. They are just as committed, just maybe not as full throated, at least not the whole group, but there are some within who are
Yes.
just as committed. And so, yeah, at the end of the day, while the talk is laced in patriotism and laced in one's own commitment of his or her community and the uplift of their children and creating a legacy. At the end of the day, they're selling us all wolf tickets.
Good
And
evening, Miss
yes,
Lillian.
those wolf tickets are buildings.
Yes.
You're still trying to build an increase in the jail. Uh, as Christian said, there already uh, there's already an agreement between the counties, so the city is not really housing any of its arrestees. Am I right or wrong?
That is correct. You're absolutely
So,
correct.
and if I'm not mistaken, the last two elections have all been about the fire department and their pension. So we have one entity that wants pensions and buildings, and another one that says award us for arresting your children and grandchildren. Yeah, that really makes sense.
Oh, y'all messy tonight. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm not talking about messy in a bad way. I'm talking
It's
about
fact.
messy in a factual way. I will erase the entire dry erase board. I will erase the entire chalkboard messy. That kind of messy. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Dustin, you ready for your shot?
Yep.
All right. You know, numbers talk. Break it down, brother. How much of this bond is for daily survival versus developer luxury?
All right. I found this nice little printout on the City of Beaumont page earlier today. So I decided to print it. It gives a nice little breakdown of how much everything costs, kind of where it's at, whatnot. So you see survival, whatnot. All right. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
from a quick peruse, the only survival things are in Proposition A. So let's just look at that. Citywide sidewalks. Okay. 10 million. All right. Street improvement. Yeah, I guess your street's bad. It could cause some accidents and what diggity. 20 million. But thought the city had a budget to fix roads annually anyway, but anywho. Drainage improvement. 28 million $162,200. And that drainage is only Broad Oak Street. Don't know what that's at. West Lucas. And the rest is going to city ditch program and equipment and citywide storm sewer cleaning. Well, that might save some people during the flood, maybe. But my only question is why East Lucas ain't getting touched?
Were there any addresses on there, Dustin? Like
Oh no,
to
they just
say
have
specifically where those improvements would be?
no, wherever Broad Oak Street, it's just the outfall ditch.
Yep. That's over by
Just the name of the
Coca-Cola.
street.
That's over by
Mm-hmm.
Coca-Cola. So
Okay. And West
Tram Road
Lucas,
area.
yeah.
Okay.
and in West Lucas, it's gonna be the storm sewer rehabilitation. No East Lucas though.
Mm.
Yeah, that's right where they had that big thing over on Lucas once before. Right in
That
that
cavity.
and yeah, right in that area.
Mhm.
Mm.
Mhm.
But everything else, animal shelter, fire department, police station, facility improvements, sports events, all that is leisure to me. I don't see no life saving anything in none of those items. So let's see. Out of the 264 million, I'm doing a quick math. That's 40, that's 50, 58 million
Anything
of
keeping
it.
people's houses from flooding, Dustin? In the
No,
north end?
sure won't. But 58
Mm,
million
mm,
of
mm.
it is life saving. The other 210 million is for beautification and rehabilitation, I guess.
Beautification and entertainment purposes only.
Mhm.
Oh man, Terry, you ready for your shot?
Hey, y'all gotta excuse me. I've been out of the loop for a minute. But
Oh man, we gonna break you in. Welcome, like I said, welcome
Oh,
back to the
welcome
table,
back.
man.
Welcome back.
Welcome back,
You
you
was
man.
know,
gone. Welcome back.
man, I've been kind of laid low, but I
Yes,
think mine said, what does the arena have to do with Bell and Water?
yes, yes.
that's
What does
that's
an
a
arena? What does a new arena or road do for a family still bailing flood water or sewer from their living rooms? Go ahead,
yeah.
you got that shot.
Well, the only thing that the arena can do if you Bell and Water is to protect you from having the water that's already went into your home. So that's about the only thing that an arena will do. And a road only if it's a high road. That's the only thing that will help to me. But I don't have too many shots because, like I said, I hadn't been into it a lot.
Yeah.
But I know that what we're looking at right now in front of us is not really going to be a good thing for us. Maybe a few things, but there's nothing on here that's going to save us from drowning. To me,
Wow. I like the way that sounds.
it's and
Especially
that
drowning in debt.
drowning in debt, sewer, flood and water, just everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So the flashpoint for this particular segment and topic is drop it in the chat. Of course, this goes to our chat. Drop this in the chat. Let me paste this right fast. Drop your neighborhood in the chat right now. Let's test this so-called progress. Do you see your block listed in this bond? Or are you being asked to pay for someone else's upgrade? And I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna sort of kind of respond to this because I see my street in this bond, but I also see the hidden reason behind why my street is in this bond. Now, if they wouldn't have put Carroll Street and Sycamore in this bond for streets, then I'd probably be like, "Oh, okay, then y'all finally coming back to do what y'all said y'all were gonna do in 2011." But then my subconscious is gonna tap me on my shoulder and say, "Hey, you remember? They said that they were gonna do this in 2024 from your elected council during a neighborhood association meeting. So now it's on the bond. That's a conflict for me. That's a conflict for me because that's not what you told us originally as residents in this area. And again, Carroll and Sycamore does not have any residents on it. So drop that in the chat. Do you see
Your
your
block should
block
have already
listed
been
in this
accounted
bond?
for, right?
I mean, should have been accounted for at least 10 years ago.
Mm, mm, mm.
Say that again.
Since should have been already at least accounted for or done at least 10 years ago.
Meaning the money was there for it, supposed to
Yeah, I
be.
mean, allegedly.
Mhm.
If you put
Mm.
it, if you redid Madison from one end to the next because for whatever reason, um and then told us that you were going to in turn do the same thing for Doucet, not as wide, but in turn do the same thing for Doucet. What happened? Where was that money? Where did that money go? Who was in the space as CFO of that time? Who was in the space of public works of that time? Who was in the space of streets and drainage at that time? Who was the city
Mm.
manager at that time? Yeah, it'll make you drop all kinds of stuff when you find out who it was. Know your rights.
What year was
Um,
this?
2011
Oh,
when
we know.
Madison was
Yeah,
done.
yeah,
Um, know your rights.
yeah.
We know who was in there.
We know
Go get
that.
your nails did. But
Yeah, and your hair.
right. Bond language must be specific. You can legally demand, and I mean legally demand, a street by street breakdown before you vote. Don't sign no blank checks. And your absentee vote from this bond is a signature with a blank check. That's your right, 100%. The roundtable question for this particular segment is if the bond doesn't touch your block but raises your taxes, who are you really working for? Your family or their investors? And their meaning whoever the shadow government may be. Let's take it to the table. Dr. Campbell, you have the floor.
I'm gonna break it all the way down for you.
Like a fraction here.
If a bond raises your taxes but doesn't improve your block, then it truly isn't working for your family. It's working for the bond investors who collect interest and for the city officials or contractors who decide where the money flows. Your household carries the debt. But
Mm-hmm.
unless your street or neighborhood is prioritized, the benefits bypass you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why clear project lists, equity requirements, and public accountability matter.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, the bond functions more like a financing tool for the investors than a guarantee of the neighborhood improvement. So here's the breakdown of how a bond works and why you as taxpayers should be asking more questions that hit hard. Okay. Number one, and y'all need to be taking notes on this, right?
Come on.
Where the money comes from. The city issues a municipal bond, basically an IOU.
Mm-hmm.
Investors, often banks, funds, or wealthy individuals, buy the bonds. The city now has upfront cash to spend on projects. Number two, who pays it back?
Mm-hmm.
Taxpayers pay it back through property tax increases or redirected revenues.
Mm-hmm.
The repayment includes interest, which is guaranteed to the investors.
Hmm.
Number three, who profits? Investors profit first. They receive interest payments every year, no matter what. Bond underwriters, lawyers, financial advisors also take fees upfront. Contractors hired for the project's profit if and when the work is done.
Yep.
If and when the work is done.
Say that again.
Mhm.
If. I love that word if.
And when the work is done.
And lady, you're gonna find out that it wasn't even done proper. Look at Avenue A. Go ahead, Queen.
Mm. Number four, who bears the risk? Families and neighborhoods bear the tax burden, even if their streets or infrastructures are never improved. If the city mismanages funds, the tax still has to be paid. The
Right.
investors, the investors, one more time, the investors don't lose. What protects neighborhoods? A specific project list that includes addresses and streets written into the bond,
Mm-hmm.
not vague infrastructure improvements.
Mm-hmm.
Equity language that guarantees all districts or neighborhoods receive investment, not industry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Citizen
Mm-hmm.
oversight committees that track where every dollar goes. So, if the bond isn't tied to your block, you're essentially paying higher taxes so that investors can earn guaranteed returns and the city can spend the money where it chooses, possibly outside your neighborhood.
Thanks.
Because I've heard that the city council is the oversight committee. That's what I've heard. That's
Why
who the
can't be some
oversight
private
committee.
citizens in there?
That's a
That's
good
the question.
question. That's a good question. But that's who I've heard the oversight committee was. So
Mm.
figure that.
So, so being that they are the oversight committee, right? Fast. Being that they are the oversight committee, they are the ones that put these propositions up the way that they did. Because according,
Yep.
never mind, never mind. Yeah.
Ooh,
Um, you didn't open another can of worms. That's next week's show. From the sounds
the
of it,
devil is in the details, huh?
Yeah, it's all about listening,
man.
listening
I
sometimes.
promise you better
Because
listen,
I had asked about an oversight committee, and I was told, well, the council is the oversight committee. So hey, what can you say?
man. Man, Perry, you had the floor, man.
Uh, wow. What was the difference between uh Jim Crow and enslavement? What
Um,
was
Very little.
What
That
wasn't
part.
the
okay?
difference?
That
Right.
part.
Yeah. What was the difference between a sharecropper and being enslaved?
Man,
Hmm. Well, one of them got to rest sometimes,
allegedly.
allegedly.
Okay. Then what is the difference between today and sharecropping? Because that's what this bond is. It's making you sharecroppers.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Bruh, how you tied that in?
And you're a sharecropper producing commodities on the rig market.
Mm, 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 mm.
It's
And for
not meant for
those
you
that
to
can't,
win. So
right, those that can't relate to sharecropping, indentured servitude fit.
Hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I'll leave it right there.
He landed,
Welcome,
Blue.
welcome to the
uh,
2025 sharecroppers.
uh,
My God, Dustin.
Dustin, you had the
Next
floor.
Sunday on BET, the Sharecroppers Award.
Dustin, you had the floor.
I'm just saying, it ain't going to nobody real fan. It's basically going to the same people that decide to buy and then knock down the AT&T building. The same people that thought, hey, let's revitalize downtown when no one goes there. Same people who built all these stupid roads that I use all the time, but not too many other people. Ain't no traffic. Same people that decide to tear Central down,
Oh,
but still use the main build, most of the building, just not the main one, which you could just
oh,
rebuild that. But whatever. Um, the same people that built the stadium that we didn't need because every school already had a stadium.
oh.
Um,
Mm.
what other stupidity they done?
Toe down price.
Yeah, tore down a bunch of schools, shut them down for
Toe
whatever
down some
reason
historical churches.
they felt like doing. Took down a whole bunch of historical buildings, even though
Mm-hmm.
some of them I don't see how they not historical yet, but it is what it is. Some people
Yeah,
records ain't
right.
straight. that's who we working for. That's who we paying the taxes to them, so they can develop Beaumont into baby Houston. I guess
The
that's what they,
Woodlands.
the Woodlands, whatever. At least the comedy shows. If y'all want to put something on the bun, put a comedy center on the bun, so I get some good comedians in town.
Would you say so I can laugh through this pain?
I'm telling you.
Terry, you have the floor.
Okay, my stuff gonna be real short because, like I said, I'm out of the loop on a lot of stuff. The worst thing about this bond, really, to me, is that we have to even have it because it's been some of us on here like Chris and a few others that's not here on here anymore. We've been preaching this for years, man. I mean, since what 2010, Chris, and we
At
always
least,
say
at the least.
we always used to say we're gonna come a time when we're not gonna be able to afford this stuff. We said that for years, man. Trying to warn people, but they say, "Oh no, Terry, you, Chris,
Yeah,
y'all just shut up. Y'all
yeah,
have no idea what you're talking about."
right.
And it's a shame that we even here. I'm embarrassed that we're here as a citizen of Beaumont.
Hmm.
Everybody, not that other cities don't do it, but I'm not talking about other cities. I'm talking about
Where I
us.
live, yeah,
Where I live, I don't care what no other city doing. I'm talking about us.
right.
We've let us get here, and that's the worst part about the bond to me is that we here and that we the ones that got to carry that burden,
Yeah,
and it's a lot of us that can't.
yeah. I,
That's
I
the
totally
sad
agree.
part.
I totally agree.
But
I
give me
totally
time to
agree.
get back in the loop. I'll be good, Chris.
Hey, man, I already know. I already know. I already know. This ain't gonna be your first time in 2025. Uh, if I could say it like this, if they can't name my address, if they can't name my street, if they can't name my interests, if they can't name my needs, then they don't get my vote.
But
And
we
I'm
we got we got the power to make them do that, Chris.
we do, but at this particular junction, do we have those
Yeah,
individuals to approach to make them do that? Again,
yeah.
many of the elected play in the faces of many and they allow it. I, as well as others, like you mentioned, we're not gonna allow you to continue to play in our face, especially with shit on your finger. So what if they can't show me how a mass people, again, this is a bond election, not a ward election. This is not a ward proposition. This is a citywide bond election. And for you to put ExxonMobil ahead of the citizens and the Port of Beaumont ahead of the citizens, you are you are sadly freaking mistaken. And I'm that individual who, again, is not scared of nobody nor no one to tell the truth. This is the facts. There is nobody. Do I need to take a video? I should have did a live on Carol and Sycamore tonight. That's where I should have hosted the show. So that you will see you have X amount of millions of dollars or thousands of dollars going toward a particular street that have no residential. None. None whatsoever. And again, everything on the east side of Hemlock, Verone, is in a buffer zone mandated by the EPA. So you can't even purchase property on the other side of Hemlock. But I
And
guarantee
so
you,
why they
Carol
make
and
sidewalks?
Sycamore Street. Well, Carol and Sycamore Street is in the bond. Whether the sidewalks that we are looking for them to direct is along Irving Street, maybe Brooklyn, no, Irving Street and Brooklyn Street for sure. And then we need, again, like I addressed at the neighborhood association meeting, we need a way to walk across these new developments that y'all having in the downtown area. We do not have to. We should not have to cross an active track where the trains sit on it. We should not have to go under the underpass and walk up and down the underpass and then walk down and up the underpass in order to get back home. That is asinine. The people that I live around ask, is these sidewalks going to connect us to downtown? And apparently the response, or the quiet response, is no. Because, well, that's the train tracks. Get out my face with that. Home rule is home rule, period. Period. I don't give a damn who running through here. Interstate 10, United Pacific, I don't care. We have home rule. We have governorship over our city. And if we can't alter a bond proposition that you throw in our face, then the bond is not for us. If we cannot tell you, hey, scrap all the rest of this stuff and just let's focus on infrastructure, let's do the whole entire $264 million in infrastructure. I guarantee you may attract some individuals on some of these vacant streets with vacant lots, or attract some of these businesses into the area. And I ain't talking about just simply mom and pops. I'm talking about career focused, innovative businesses. Stop playing in our face, because this shit ain't got nothing to do with us. This has everything to do with the shadow government and those that's gonna line their pocket. Again, this ain't about being anti-progress. I'm not anti-progress. I'm not anti-process. This is about being pro-accountability. And our elected, if they are the vetting process for this bond, you individuals are unaccountable to the people who elected you. Whether we elected you or not, you in that space. So north of the Garthop. Let's shift gears. Segment 2. Now we ask, who wrote this bond and who's already cashing out? Some people that put their parents in a nursing home just so that they won't have to deal with the fallout. But segment 2, shadow governments, real profits. Subtitle, follow the land, follow the pockets. You want to understand a bond? Like Dr. Campbell said, look past the numbers and read the names. The bond was written by a committee stacked with former council members, retired city staff, developers, landowners, senior majority landowners, those who receive an abatement. Mind you, I'm a veteran. I don't pay a tax to nobody because I'm 100% service connected. I don't pay a tax to nobody. So if I was against progress, I would be like, go ahead, let it pass. But I refuse to be a hindrance to everybody else in my city. People without property portfolios, not people with potholes in front of their house. That's who this for. They wrote the bond. They own the land. The bond passes. The land value spikes, and they line up to bid on the very contracts they just created. Make that make sense? I peeped your whole card, and I hope everybody else in our community peeps your card. You want to rape us for the money that we already don't have. Usage rates is increasing. Property taxes have to increase whether the bond pass or not. So this ain't public service. This is private payout. Let's go to the power shots. Perry done dropped off. Man. And he had a hold one too. Man, look, I'm gonna pull up another shot. Dr. Campbell, since Perry dropped off. Hey, Tony, make sure Perry ain't in the background. Dr. Campbell, call it out. What does it mean
Reggie.
when black? I know, I already know. What does it mean when a black majority city can't even get a bond committee that reflects its people or its populace? Because the medium age for the city of Beaumont is what, 30, 30, 34, 35, 36, 37. Go ahead, you had the floor, Queen.
It says a lot, and it says it in plain terms.
Hmm.
When a majority black city can't even form a bond committee that reflects its own people, it signals a deep gap in representation and power. It says decisions about billions in debt and decades of taxes are being
Mhm.
shaped without the voices of the very people who
Mhm.
who will pay and live with the outcomes. It suggests tokenism over true equity. Leadership claims bond serves everyone, but the decision makers don't look like or live where the majority does.
Hmm.
It's control without accountability. Those most impacted by potholes, flooding, and crumbling infrastructure are the least present at the table.
Mhm.
It's a continuation of old
Mute,
patterns.
mute up, Perry.
Resources flow towards already favored areas while Black neighborhoods are asked to foot the bill without guaranteed benefit.
Mhm. Mhm. You landed that plane?
I landed that plane.
Let her eat. Let her eat. She
You
was
see my
cooking. I was
phone?
wanting some more. I wanted some more. Perry, we gonna jump back to you. Uh, talk to us. Why do the same names keep showing up on bond committees, land deeds, and city contracts? What system or systems are keeping these individuals in place? Man, don't hate on him. They hating on him because they knew he was fit to come with it. Good. Dustin, we'll come back. We'll come back to you, Perry, if you can hear us. We can't hear you. Bottom line, who pays when these insider projects raise property values and who gets pushed out?
Same people that pays and get pushed out doing gentrification. This just a soft like a soft opening version of gentrification.
Mm,
Mm, mm,
We're
mm.
gonna bring these projects in. We're gonna build some stuff. You know how the people that want to vote for stuff to give something to do in Beaumont. You're gonna get something to do, all right? It's gonna call moving out. That's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have some
That's what they
packing.
want.
You're gonna have some moving to do because the property tax keep going up. There's a lot of people on fixed incomes, a lot of people on low incomes.
uh-huh.
And when them numbers start rising, you just start moving. That's just how it work. But y'all keep letting these property tax vultures go ahead and keep running them up. It is what it is, though.
Yeah, yeah, right. Um, Terry,
Hey,
how do you spot how do you spot how do you spot a bond? How do you spot when a bond is written to protect landholders and not residents?
well, when you start seeing these spots clearing out, like them making room for certain things in certain areas, like you go down to Northwest Parkway from the back of the mall to 105, clear, man. You can run a 4 lane street through there, man. And
Yes.
and we know who owned the land. We're not gonna say names, but we
Oh,
know.
I likes to say names.
Yeah, but
And he on
I'm
the committee.
and he
He
on
on
the
the
They
bond
on the
committee.
committee too.
committee. He was on the bond
He was
committee.
on the bond committee, and
Weird.
that's not a good look, man. And believe it or not, that's gonna make a lot of people turn away from voting for that bond.
I promise.
And I'm telling, when I rode back there and I seen that, I said, wait a minute, where am I at? Then I
I
thought,
promise.
so
He
that's
made a
what's
he
going
made an
on.
etch a sketch imprint of the street that he wishing for.
I mean, I ain't mad at him if that's what it's gonna take to make you rich.
I'm mad
But
at him
but
because
it
if
ain't
you
gonna be on. It gonna be ain't gonna be on me though.
yeah, yeah, don't put it on my
Don't put
don't
it
put
on
that
my
tab
money.
on me. You
You
trying to
already
you try
taxing me enough, man. What
exactly.
did you take some Vaseline with you the next time? Please. That hurt. That
Perry,
hurts, man.
Perry, talk to us if you can, because you know they hating. Why do the same names keep showing up on bond
Oh yeah.
committees?
And I think that that's more of a feature and not a bug. And it becomes one of the things that we have to really take a close look at when we uh, claim that we are supporting leadership that is trying to change the direction.
Huh.
Because what this represents, as it has always, is that when you introduce supposed change agents into the mix, and those change agents don't understand the process and understand what forces they're working up against, uh, that change agent is not going to change anything by him or herself.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you begin to look at the makeup of this bond committee and you learn the people who were responsible for framing this bond committee, whether they were black, white, purple, or whatever, that those that committee makeup just did not people.
They hate. They hate. They hate. And and we know that Perry is just moving into PHX uh AZ. So give him some time. He got that he got that South African internet on right now. So give him a little give him a little time.
No, they just didn't want me to finish that. They didn't
That's what
want
it
me to
was,
finish that.
brother. That's what I knew it.
No, and no, and I just say I think that all of the people on the committee are good citizens. They have uh, in their hearts and in their minds and in their opinions uh, the best outlook for Beaumont's future.
Hmm.
And that's something that I will not argue, or debate that. I understand that. The issue has been at what cost,
Hmm.
Yeah. Thing about it
and
is,
again, we're we're going back. I'm going back to the sharecroppers. Remember when the sharecroppers, they were all upset, for their home, and so they decided to get who they considered was a leader to deal on their behalf.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
you don't have a leader that's dealing on your behalf, but on their own sense of survival or in their own sense of sustaining for themselves, no matter who it costs, then you really have to look at who that leadership is. And I mean, we've seen it. I mean, from Nat Turner to uh, on down. I mean, to Nat,
Right.
there was always a loyal insider pretending to deal on behalf of the people for the survival of the people. And really,
Yeah.
it was just self survival. And again,
Yeah.
not to point anything at any one individual, but when you have a committee of people who are invested in many ways, then you're going to get a bond
Hmm.
that looks like this. And I think that at most, what how we need to frame this is that a no vote on this bond issue is not that I don't want uplift, beautification, safety for my city. It's just my no vote is saying, no, I won't support that initiative to get it done.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
think if we
Right.
can begin to frame it as though we are not against the bond, but my money, if I'm going to put up money, I'm not going to put up good money for that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. A lot of
So
us,
Especially
you
not for
guys
no
need to go
30
back to the
years.
board. You guys need to go back
Exactly.
to reframe this because this is not something that we want.
because
Exactly.
the thing about it is, a lot of us, we could have reframed it if a lot of us didn't make ourselves available. Because I think I went to all of them, maybe except one. I'm not, putting no
I'm
blame
not
on
about to
nobody.
go outside
Yeah,
of my way to
I get it.
attend your
I
meeting.
I get
I'm
it.
not about, again, just like I said in 2 meetings ago, if you
Mhm,
want me, address me, address me. Say Chris. Don't say that we put that out to the public. That's the
mhm.
public is not me.
Yeah.
When you
Oh,
when
I
you
get it.
send when you send those monthly or by annual water tests, you send that to me. It don't say to the resident of, it says me. So don't address me as the resident of.
Right.
If you want me to vote for this, address me. Hey, Chris, I need
Right.
your input on this. And I'm not talking about
Yeah.
just a little so we could get a lot. No,
Right.
Right.
no, no, no. So,
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
um,
I agree.
go ahead.
I definitely agree. Because my thing is, how bad do you want it?
Mm, mm.
I mean, from the city's perspective, if this was if this was an indication of your effort, what does that $100,000 to a company in Austin do when you couldn't even invest in some public relation right here that's grown?
Right here. Right here.
They could have
And I'm not
paid you.
and I'm not saying that's black or white. I'm just saying you did not invest any money in any organic public relations, including the city's own public relations department. So
Only
how
And the
bad
twenty.
do you
city's
want it?
neighborhood associations.
See, only 2,900 people that responded to
Again, you did not, yes, you made
it.
that
But see, we
accessible to
keep
the
putting this back
public.
on the people though. We put it back
No,
on
I
the
know.
people, but
No, I'm talking
again,
about as far as
the
them.
representation
Yeah.
that goes forth from the people,
Yes.
I'm saying we got 48%. There is 48% black representation on city council at this point. That 48%
Mm-hmm.
has signed their name on the dotted line. They all for it. It's blank check. So where do you begin to leverage that when you've already said you for it?
You already
And
said you
then,
for it.
oh, okay, so you mean once the deal is done, so then we start
Man,
talking about, ooh, well, y'all need to look at this street. Ooh, y'all need to
that's
look at
why
black
I said
businesses. You,
I did not elect a
it's
get
past time
along
for
or
even that
go
debate.
along to get along. I did not elect a go along to get along. I did not elect a go along to get along. And while you allegedly secured some things on in Ward 3 or on the east side of the city, I'ma say it one more time. I did not elect you to get along. To go along to get along. I elected you to be my direct representative. That means you knock on my door, just like you knock on my neighbor door, just like you knock on every neighbor on this street door. I have yet to find somebody that has went on do said and said, hey, we want to include y'all in the bond. Nobody has addressed these neighbors to tell us that, because just like me, who will identify the reason that you're doing Doucette, gonna call your ass
Mm.
out, just like we doing on tonight. Stop playing in our face, whether you are elected or appointed. And again, I'ma say, I'm a member of many nonprofit organizations and other organizations that have to address this city. I'm not speaking on behalf of those in those organizations, but there's many individuals within them organizations who have came and told me this, and who have I dialogued on the phone with, because many of you who are elected and are appointed, just like Perry said, where is the communications team? Have y'all came out? Have y'all want you spent, man? Flashpoint question for the chat. Do you believe this bond was written with you in mind or with land in mind? Type you or land in the chat. Again, if you believe that this bond was wrote with you in mind,
You
type
like the
you in the
fried okra?
chat. I do, I do. But
How's the fish?
you ain't fit to give me none.
Mute Perry.
Mute, Perry.
I'm
Or
gonna answer
with
that.
land in mind, type you. Go ahead, Miss Cat. Answer that.
I'm gonna recap uh what I said about the bond the committee not being reflecting us. In
Mm,
short, when a majority black city can't even get a bond committee that reflects its people, it shows that the bond isn't about us, it's about control without representation.
yes.
So I'ma say it's about the land.
100% about the land. Anybody else
100%.
want to answer that flashpoint?
I,
I really just wanted to recap what I said in the first place.
I, we
I,
could
I,
Look,
I
Mr.
want
Lois
to.
Moore Smith said land. Miss Regina Brooks Gordon said land. So okay, okay.
I want to explain
Everybody,
something. When I say about the participation, Chris, you already know how I feel about people coming to me and asking me stuff.
yes,
Only reason I say something about participation because we all need to know what they're trying to do to us.
exactly,
And
exactly.
when I say participate, that's what I mean by nobody participated. But I want you to participate because I want you to know exactly what's about to be done to you. Not
Yep,
because
and
of
the
anything
unborn.
else other than that, just that. You need to
Yeah,
know that that Vaseline didn't come along
and it look.
with the push.
I promise, and it ain't even Vaseline. How
It
about
didn't.
that?
It
That's
didn't.
a
It didn't.
substitute.
So when I say participation, that's what I mean.
Yeah, yeah,
So
And I'm here to
yeah,
give you the details of how to get there.
yes, yep. That's what we trying to do.
yeah.
Know your rights.
No,
You can request land ownership records, just like I was able to call that person who owns property in the along this alleged road that we're going to extend to 105. Parigi, we know you own that property. Um, that's all you do is just you can go to JCAD if you
he
want to and
owned
find
it.
out who owned that property.
His
You
name
could
on
go
all of it.
all of it, and
All of it.
this man sat on the committee for these proposals. Make that make sense,
That's
y'all.
like even the Dowling Road extension,
Yes, you
which
can
thing.
request who's pre-qualified to bid, so you can find out who's going to be bidding. You can find out who's going to be bidding. So we know, especially if you go and read the cornerstone for almost every school in the city of Beaumont, near big construction, you should not be considered because you had insider trading. Y'all better stop playing. Like I said, y'all ain't gonna be playing in these people face no more, especially with $264 million that's gonna tax and put in debt even the unborn. Stop playing. Stop playing. That all that information is public. Use it. Use it to your benefit. And if they refuse you of that information, sue their pants off. You understand me? Sue them for withholding public information. Roundtable question for this particular segment is if the people who designed the bond are also the ones cashing out or able to be, let's see, omitted from taxes, why should residents tie themselves to 30 years of debt for their payday? Their particular payday. This is not going to put no money in your pocket. I promise ain't no money's going to be induced into your pocket. Go ahead. Perry, start us out. Actually, this is the roundtable question. I do apologize. Queen, you have the floor.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, round table number 3, right?
This is the second one.
Okay. I labeled mine, so hold on just a
See, I'm gonna
second.
have to do my homework for this next one, man. Because
Yes,
Okay,
indeed.
round table number 2. Okay, here we are. Okay, that's a sharp and fair challenge. That's what I want to say.
Yes.
If the same people who designed the bond also stands to cash out from it, then residents are essentially being asked to mortgage their future for someone else's profit. 30
Hmm.
years of debt means higher taxes for families, while the designers and investors walk away with guaranteed paydays. Without transparency and equity built in, there's no reason for residents to tie themselves to decades of debt that doesn't prioritize their streets, their
Hmm.
schools, or
Hmm.
their neighborhoods.
I promise.
Done.
I promise I go on.
yeah, indeed.
I promise. Perry, you have the floor. You find they hating on him again? He ain't even said nothing. Golly. Oh,
that
there you
that
That's
go. There
share
that
you go.
Dollar
that
Tree
share
internet.
Two.
yeah,
Oh,
that's that sharecropper
stop.
stuff got him, man. He ain't
The
like that
sharecropper
sharecropper
Number
stuff,
two.
man.
out.
The shit, he in the field sharecropping.
Man,
Better yet,
man,
he in the desert sharecropping.
y'all have to bear with me. I told y'all I just moved to a new area, so you know they checking me out before they really let me in on these networks over here. It's like, oh, he done moved from the south side, he up north. Uh-oh, he on the
Right, I'm
move.
telling
So
you, they gonna put you on that
but
that
your
South
question,
African time.
he highfalutin now, bro.
yeah. So repeat the question. Repeat the question.
If the people who
Just so
designed the
I answer it
bond
correctly.
are also the ones cashing out, why should residents tie themselves to 30 years of debt for their payday?
Uh well, first of all, let me just be blunt and say they should. I
Hmm.
mean, tying your future to someone else's dreams is always a
Hmm.
Pun intended.
night. And so again, I go back to my point. I believe particular. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh. You believe
Okay.
in what?
Yeah, I go back. I go back to what I said before. If you can't find anything in one of these bond packages that you would feel good saying to your grandchild, I set this up for you.
Mm.
I made this possible for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Beaumont I grew up in was made possible through the hard work of people who made some little small advances possible that had a huge return.
Right.
And now we are at a point where we're trying to make huge investments for minimal return, but the applause and praise of many.
Mm. Mm.
because I guarantee you, at each one of these facilities and parks is going to be a photo op and some ribbon cutting. But yet, we still have a city that is in the top 20 most dangerous cities in the state. A city that 30 years ago wasn't even on the radar when it came to crime. Well, let me go
Hmm.
back to 40. Let me at least say pre-8. We're
Hmm.
talking about a city that has lost its foundational instructional institutions. They're all under fire, from Martin to Fail to Jordan
Hmm.
Pollard to Peach. We all of us grew up. Well, not y'all, Chris, but all of y'all you call big bruh. We was all floating through them halls.
Yes. Yes.
And what do we have to give?
Nada.
An athletic complex, an athletics complex, a high
That's
tech jail, and what some motorized. we we gonna go. So what?
That's why they playing with your internet, cause you being messy. They playing with your internet all day. That's
I'm
what you
through with
get.
that one. I'm through with that
Terry, Terry, would you like to respond to that roundtable question?
Yeah, ask it again. Ask me again.
If the people, if the people who designed the bond are also the ones cashing out, why should residents tie themselves to a 30-year debt?
Well, they really shouldn't because the burden of this bond is going to fall on the poor.
It's definitely
because
gonna fall on the
because
poor.
it doesn't matter to the rich what they got to pay because
Hmm.
they know that eventually they're going to get their money in some kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
if you're at the bottom of this tier, you're going to be the one holding up everybody else, and
if you're
all the
not an
while,
investor.
and you're
Mhm.
getting pushed further and further into the sewer, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because $20 to some people is nothing, but twenty
Yes.
dollars to a lot of people is a lot of something.
Exactly.
Especially,
Especially when I go
oh, go
ahead.
ahead. Especially when you got to get medicine, you got to get food. They're cutting into your Social Security. They're cutting into your Medicare. They're making you pay an arm and a leg for medicine. Man, I work in the medical stuff, so I see, and there's a lot of people that's just struggling, man. So $20 may not be a lot to you or to me or to other people, but to some, it's a lot, and that's the people that's going to bear the burden of this bond.
I
And
totally
if
agree.
they know, like I know, you better vote with your pocketbook for real. You better vote with your pocketbook because that's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah.
If you want it empty or if you want to keep that money in your pocket and get you something to eat or get your insulin or get whatever it is you need.
Water,
Because,
because
yeah,
everybody ain't drinking that.
well, I ain't drinking in 20 years, man. So, that's another whole subject there. So,
I know, right?
and,
Dustin.
and sewer.
Dustin, you have the floor.
I'm keeping nice and brief. No.
Mic drop.
That's it in a nutshell.
That's it. That's
That's
it.
it.
Doesn't say no need for self-explaining that. I'm saying no because it's a no. This ain't just. I just want y'all to know that this is not just a conflict of interest, right? Especially for those that are on council or have been in council before, or have some backdoor insight about how to manipulate their bid processes or bid amount, right? And I'm just calling it how it's falling into me. So don't be mad and don't think that I have a backdoor insight behind what's going on. It's not. The Holy Spirit reveals and He tells you, I give you the spirit of discernment. But again, this is not just a conflict of interest. This is the conflict by design. When a bond committee is filled with people who already benefit, or individuals who can amend the burden of taxes that's going to come, uh, with, abatements that they qualify for, especially if you are 60 plus, 65 plus, 70 plus, 75 plus, or like I said, myself as a veteran, 100% service connected veteran. I'm unemployable, I'm disabled on both sides. So I don't pay taxes. There's many veterans in the state of Texas who do not pay taxes. Dustin alluded to it. Oh, well, there's, a lot of people who don't pay taxes. But I want you to understand this. If your ass live in an apartment, you paying the taxes of that property owner. Trust and believe. So don't think that because you living in an apartment complex that you not gonna get hit by this either. I want you to know your rent is gonna go up because their property taxes is about to go up. I want you to know that your usage rate is gonna go up, whether there's sewer, trash, or water, because we need the money.
Because what is
We need
25
the money. What
is $25 to us is going to be almost $100 for renters.
I promise.
Well,
I
yes.
promise. And then on top of that, when you have when you have individuals, like I said, who sits behind some of these elected individuals, coercing them to not hear from their constituency, but hear from how I pay you in your pocket, they just need let me tell you that they don't need your voice. They depending and anticipating on your silence. If you go vote for this and you vote no, they're gonna be mad at you. If you don't go vote for this and it passes, they still gonna be mad at you, because then you have again opened the door for, ain't no telling how long this bond gonna take us to pay it back, because interest rates are climbing as we speak. It's 10:30. So guess what? Interest rates went up just not too long ago. And
Yep.
if we give it to them, that's on us. That's on y'all. Let me say that. I can't exclude myself because I deal and I engage with y'all. So let me say that again. If we allow that, if we give them what they are expecting from us not engaging, that's on us, 100% on us. Now, understand this. This is not the first bond. It's been a while, but it's not the first bond for the city of Beaumont. Your past management, management did not get the directive from the members of council to pass a bond. Mind you, the past management was in there for 30 years. You do the math. Now, let's talk about history. Segment 3. The last bond hustle they hope we forgot. That's what it is. They hope we forgetting this one. And I was too young to even remember, but I
I
pulled it
remember
up
it.
because it's open record. Segment 3, same hustle, new rapper. The subtitle for this particular segment is the past bond is considered to be deja vu. Did I see that? Did I say that? You heard it. Let's talk receipts. Back in 2011, we were promised street repairs. Again, Madison Avenue A, Doucet, 7th Street, um, um 7th Street in its entirety, not up to the highway. That's not where 7th Street was supposed to be redone. I just want y'all to know that. But Dollinger is on the bond Get out of my face with that. And we see that Dollinger offers nobody access with the exception of the rock quarry and the asphalt plant who left people high and dry with asphalt still sitting right there. Stop playing in the people's face. Like I said, where would we were told drainage projects will be prioritized? Still flooding. We still flooding. And flooding even worse. And what happened to the oversight committee? Oh, my bad. Council is the oversight. Disband, disband, and forgotten. 100% totally. Well, we gonna oversight. How? That's a you don't but you can't speak for or against it, but you're gonna oversight. Get the hell out of our face. Stop playing in our
That's remind
face.
you. That's all.
So here they come again. New games, same tricks, different people. And they
Can I
hoping
get the?
time
Excuse me.
made us
Can I get
forget.
the?
Perry, mute, please, sir. The power shots.
I'm
The
sir.
Perry, mute, please. Perry,
Yeah.
mute, please. Thank you, sir. Gotcha. Uh, power shots. Dr. Campbell, you ready for your shot? If she's still with us. Because
I'm
you know
here. I'm
Dr.
here. I'm ready.
I was about to say, you know, Dr. Campbell already preambled at the beginning of the show. I'm on
Stop.
my medicine, y'all.
Stop.
So your power shot is why do critical needs like drainage keep getting pushed back, bond after bond? And who makes that decision?
Great question. Here's the straight
Mm,
answer. Mm-hmm.
give it to us.
Uh-huh. Let me tell you what happened. My keyboard keep popping up.
Mm,
Okay. Critical needs like drainage often get pushed back because they don't create the same political or financial spotlight as visible projects like new buildings, parks,
mm.
and street beautification.
Oh,
They're
so what you're saying
expensive.
is I want to put my name on it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Go
and
ahead,
and you
go
want
ahead, Queen. I hear you.
and I want to make sure the people can see me cut that ribbon, right? Yeah. They're expensive, underground, and harder to show off during the ribbon cuttings. Who decides that? City staff and consultants usually draft the project list. The council or commission approves what goes into the bond.
Yeah.
Developers and business interests sometimes have influence, pushing flashy projects that raise property values instead of essentials like drainage, which is what we need. So
Yes.
when drainage gets pushed back, bond after bond, it's not because the need isn't real, it's because those in power choose projects that serve political or financial gain first. They want you to see them cutting that ribbon.
Yes. Limelight seekers. Perry might be in the background, Tony. I don't know if he dropped. Um, but Dustin, run the math if you can. How much debt from the last bond is still unpaid? Or did we pay it all? And how does this new bond stack on top?
I did a little bit of research, and it says we're not still paying on the one from 81, which is before I was born.
I had
I
one
was
in
one.
'83 too. So
Yeah, 83, I mean.
yeah.
We're not paying on that one anymore. We have paid
I
that
was
debt
three.
off. So now the car belongs to us.
Hmm.
But what I found weird is there's no records or news articles or anything about that bond nowhere in the city. Not what they actually worked on, if it got worked on, if it got fixed, nothing. Not a stitch of it
Well,
anywhere.
some of it was there on Calder. They had I remember it. It's been a minute, but I know it's Calder.
Where
Somewhere.
the open records at though? You remember it, but we
Excuse me,
asking where the
Terry. Yeah,
records
that's what
at.
I was just about to say. Terry, you remember.
You
I
Yeah,
may
remember?
remember,
I
but
remember.
Justin can't find none of the
Yeah,
FOIA for it.
right. For
Yeah.
The
real.
Where's
Yeah.
the
open record.
information? Correct.
Not
Yeah.
one
Correct.
receipt, nothing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
Well,
And that's when we had a different city manager.
Management.
Hmm.
Correct.
There's a
Nobody
lot.
said a
That was
mumbling
there for 30
word.
years and nobody asked questions.
A lot of it might have been under the AT&T building, so who knows?
Correct. And or swindled between or cooked in the books.
I think it
Cause
was underneath the
y'all act
building.
like y'all don't want me to say that. It was cooked in the books.
I definitely remember
We
it though.
drove
But
one CFO
the
quite
council
damn near
is the
crazy.
oversight committee, though. The council is the oversight
Hmm.
committee.
Apparently,
Hmm.
apparently.
Oh
So
yeah, they
who's the
are.
historian?
Somebody the council appointed. So
The
somebody
records
the
should jive
council
together
appointed. So
somewhere, huh?
Yeah, I mean, good
Man,
gracious.
man. Perry. I mean Terry.
hey,
You ready for your shot?
yeah, go ahead. I didn't prepare, but go ahead.
Story. You all right. Story of someone who voted yes last time and feels betrayed now. Didn't you say you remember that bomb from
Oh yeah,
last
I
time?
remember it. I remember it because
You voted yes?
I was 23 at the time, and I think
Oh.
I had just moved back here. I think from Dallas, and they
Uh
were talking about it because if you think the flooding is bad now, it was bad back then,
uh-huh.
it's actually gotten worse. But a lot of it is in the same spot that they supposedly had fixed. Because I want to
Mm-hmm.
remember some of it was around Calder, but none of it was in the north end, and some of it was in the west end. So it's pretty much like it is now, with not much,
Scattered
going.
about.
No, not really much going to the north or the south.
Yeah.
So, cause
Yeah.
you see that those same underpasses that's been flooding now, flooded in
Mm-hmm.
'83.
Yep.
So you figure
Yep.
it's
Flooded in the
42
80s.
years and it's still
Yes, bruh.
flooding.
Yeah, bruh. Yeah,
So,
bruh. Lost lives in them things.
that money, I'm not gonna say it was wasted,
Hmm.
but it was wasted,
Yeah, man.
in my
Perry,
opinion.
Perry, put it in the record. What did residents actually get from the last bond? And how much was the hype versus delivery?
Uh, I would say they got aesthetics. They didn't get
Lipstick on a
solutions.
pig.
Yeah, yeah, they didn't get solutions to their problems.
Nope.
I won't uh want to recognize Mr. Marshall Scott
Yes.
because Mr. Scott was always at city council meetings, and one of the things I remember Mr. Scott raising was the fact that when they did the drainage on Washington Boulevard, they
Hmm.
did not use
Proper size piping.
the proper size piping,
He called it out.
for a city of for a city of that
Yeah.
size. And so, and then to also recognize, and I just want to commend all of you all in the process. Mr. Scott wasn't well received,
Nope.
At all.
even though he was right.
Yep.
Yeah.
They tried to
Yeah.
shut him down, throw him out of
And,
meetings.
and so it hasn't changed.
Same go for
Is
Reverend Vaughn.
the players have changed, but I think we got to start recognizing what kind of leadership we keep electing, because that's
Hmm.
not the leadership that we grew up under.
That's not the
Complacency
standard.
cost.
Hmm. I promise. And more than the living.
Mr.
Yeah,
Scott,
More
boy,
than the living.
he used to give them
yeah,
pure D hell, man. He was
Yeah.
that. What was the
you
guy
know,
name that died recently?
and I grew up on Blossom, and I'm
Mhm.
telling you, I was on Blossom 5 years after they first started Blossom. I went to Blossom in 1973.
We wouldn't even thought
Blossom
about it.
had never, never, never
Mm.
flooded until Harvey, which they thought was an outlier, and then came right back around. And who
Imelda to
was it?
confirm it.
Imelda.
Imelda, at 2 years after those, many of them seniors, retired teachers and administrators had taken out of their insurance, and retirement to rebuild their homes. As soon as they completed, they were right back. And many of them have not recovered.
Yep.
Yep.
Many, many.
Yep. Yep.
So if
Yep.
you consider and see, and I grew up on Blossom, so I know how folks used to say, "Oh, you grew up on Blossom, you here."
You
Well,
got that
folk on
minding.
Blossom, folk on Blossom facing the same
Same.
bullshit.
Facts.
Yep.
23rd too. I don't think that you outside of it. Flashpoint. Hey, chat, y'all ready? If they broke promises in the last bond, do you trust this one?
Nope.
Type trust or no trust, or like 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 Terry said, nope. 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 Type nope in the chat. Know your rights. I definitely want you to know your rights. You can request the debt service report from the last bond. See what's still unpaid because knowledge is power. And not because we're on the Knowledge is Power podcast live. Roundtable question for this particular segment is if the last bond failed to deliver, why are we even entertaining another one? And what does that say about our memory as voters? Go ahead, Dr. Campbell, you have the floor.
Of course. This is an excellent and deeply insightful question that gets to the heart of the political accountability, voter behavior, and public finance.
Exactly, because I want to know. Go ahead, Queen, you got it.
Yeah. I'm going to break this all the way down for you.
Like another fraction?
Ooh, get ready and have your pencil out to take notes.
Come on, the lowest common denominator. I'm ready.
Mhm. The phenomenon of a government entity, a city, school district, etc., proposing a new bond shortly after a previous one failed or was poorly executed is unfortunately common. The reasons are complex and speaks volumes about our collective political and psychological dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a breakdown of why it happens and what it says about our collective memories.
Right.
Why they entertain another bond? Number one, the difference time argument. Proponents will argue that the new bond is fundamentally different. They may have listened to feedback. A new proposal might be smaller, focused on different priorities, such as critical infrastructure repairs
Mm-hmm.
instead of new amenities,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or include more oversight. It changed leadership. There was a change in leadership. New elected officials or agency heads may be in place, promising
Right.
better management and accountability,
Right.
increased urgency. The need didn't disappear with the failed bond. In fact, the problem, crumbling roads, overcrowded schools, has likely gotten worse,
Mm-hmm.
creating a renewed, more desperate argument of action.
Hmm.
Number two, separate issues. Separate pools of money. Separate pools of money. Government budgets are highly siloed. A bond for parks is completely separate pot of money from a bond for sewer lines. Even if the parks bond was mismanaged, the need for sewer repairs remains critical and often legally mandated issue.
Yes.
Advocates, advocates will argue we can't punish the sewers for the park's mistakes. Mm. Number three, the power of organized interests.
Hmm.
The bond measures are often pushed by well organized coalitions with strong vested interests. This includes construction unions, contractors who benefit from the work, parent teacher associations advocating for new schools,
Yeah.
Community groups dedicated for a specific cause,
Right.
libraries, arts, etc. These groups have motivation, resources, and manpower to run a campaign and frame a narrative, often overshadowing general voter skepticism.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, financial reality. For many local governments, bonds are the primary tools for funding large capital projects. They don't have the cash on hand to build a new high school or water treatment
Facts.
plant. The choice isn't bond or pay cash, it's bond or do nothing. The do nothing
Facts.
option often has severe long term consequences, which officials use to pressure voters. Hmm. What does this say about our collective memory as voters? Your question about collective memory is the most profound part. This cycle suggests several things about the electorate. That's the constituency, y'all. Number
3.
1, short memory and apathy. Mm, mm, mm.
The- or
I'm
or
just stating the facts.
yeah, I mean, or they just drag it out so long that, again, you affect the unborn, just like it I mean, the bond was what,
Exactly.
83? How many people
Right.
were unborn in 83? I
Hmm.
was, like I said, I was 3.
Right.
I ain't know nothing about no bond. Go ahead, Queen.
And then again, the apathy level of the community.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Complacency cost.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For the average voter, not directly affected by the previous failure, the details fade. The
Perry's
outrage of
backstage.
scam.
I'm sorry, Queen. Perry's backstage.
That's okay. The outrage of a scandal from 3 to 5 years ago is replaced by the immediate tangible pitch of the new campaign. This will fix potholes on your street. On your street.
On
Mhm.
your street.
On your street. Yeah. Number 2, the this time is different hope. Voters want to believe in improvement and good
Mm-hmm.
governance.
Mm-hmm.
There's a natural tendency to hope that lessons were learned and that the new oversight will prevent past mistakes. This
Right.
optimism can override cynical memory. Keep hope alive, y'all. Hmm. But if
Talk to the people.
your address and your street ain't written in there, it's it's subject
That
not to
ain't for
happen.
you.
Number
Exactly.
3, changing the electorate. The electorate is not a static monolith. People move, pass away, and become newly eligible to vote. The group voting on a new bond may not be the same group that rejected the old one. New residents, in particular, lack the historical context of the previous failure.
Facts.
Mhm. Number 4, issue specific voting. I'm going to say it again. Issue specific voting.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
As mentioned above, voters might have rejected a bond for a new sports stadium, but are highly motivated to support a bond for an earthquake retrofitting schools. They don't see it as a reward for past failure, but as a separate, more critical decision. See, they play on your sympathy.
Mm-hmm. And your concerns.
And you uh-huh.
Like now.
Number 5, lack of meaningful consequences. Often there are no real consequences for the officials who mismanaged the first bond. Facts.
Did Mr. Hayes go to jail?
Not. They may have
Misappropriation
retired
of
or moved.
funds?
Not.
Hmm.
They may have retired or moved to other offices without a clear target for accountability. Voter frustration is diffused and hard to channel
I
effectively
promise.
into a no vote on a new, arguably worthy project.
I promise.
The healthy voters dilemma. This creates difficult calculation for an informed voter.
Mm-hmm.
The punitive vote. I will vote no on everything until there's a systematic overhaul and someone is held accountable for the last failure.
Yep.
This risks letting essential infrastructure decay further,
Right.
potentially costing more later. And that's what they're hitting us with now. If we don't vote for this now, then we won't be able to get infrastructure fixed for 3 years. But you still need to put street names and addresses on there so we can know that it's some of it's coming to us, right?
And not industry.
Okay. Then you have the pragmatic vote. I acknowledge the past failure, but this new bond addresses a critical need and seems to have better safeguards. I will vote yes while vowing to watch like a hawk and hold them accountable this time. Hmm. In conclusion, the fact that a new bond is entertained after a previous failure speaks to a combination of persistent need, political opportunism, organized campaigning. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. My keyboard just popped up in the middle of my thing.
Oh, they hating.
I know, huh?
They
There
hating.
it is. Okay. Okay. Organized campaigning and the malleable, often fragmented nature of voter memory.
Yep.
It highlights the eternal challenge of holding government accountable while also addressing real and pressing community needs. It suggests our collective memory is often short, hopeful, and focused on the immediate future rather than the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Perry, you got the floor. Why you gotta be all in the camera? Say hey or something.
I thought I had a question that was coming up.
Oh, you ready for your shot?
Yeah, I thought we was doing a shot.
Brother say, give me my shot, man. Stop playing.
I thought we was doing the shot.
The round table. That was the round table number
Yeah,
three.
that was the round table question. If the last bond failed
Oh,
to deliver, why are we even entertaining another? And what does this say about our memory as voters?
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Yeah, that's the
okay.
round table.
That's
Yeah,
where we
yeah,
are.
okay. I okay. Uh, Let me take you back to a recent history that some may remember, but I remember it because I was right there. In 1993, I want to say,
Yeah.
if you were coming into Houston from Beaumont and you got off of I-10 and you took 59 south, if you were going to Sunnyside or you going to Third Ward, you take that 59 south,
Yeah.
and one of the first exit you'd see as you saw George R. Brown Convention Center was the Texas Capitol exit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I never forget, and I want to say it was 93 or 95, one of those. Man, all of a sudden, Texas Capitol exit was closed.
Hmm.
Nobody knew why. The news wasn't saying anything. Texas Capitol was closed. That was one of the main entries into downtown. And so
Into downtown Houston.
how could they take away one of the major arteries into downtown that led directly into Smith Street? And you'd be like, well, man, what were they willing to give up for that?
Hmm.
Mm.
And then around 1996, 97, a bond issue came up because the Astros wanted a new stadium. And
Yeah.
lo and behold, the location they was looking at was right at Texas and Cal.
Yeah.
And the
Mm.
first time it didn't pass, that bond did not pass. Cause black folk was like, we ain't really into baseball like that anyway. We football folk, man. We down. We you know,
We
and
basketball
the
folk.
right, the Rockets had just won. Man, come on, we not into that. And voters turned that down. And I never forget, they went back. That committee who wanted it, because they really wanted that Minute Maid Stadium. Well, now let me say that they wanted Enron Stadium. It was
That's what it
Enron Field,
was.
and
That's what it was.
Enron had plenty of money, and they was gonna get it done.
Facts. That's what it
Get
was.
get her done. Get her done. And they called in, and Ken Lake called his good friend, Reverend Bill Lawson, and they called in some of their surrogates
Lied and said we
and
gonna give y'all a percentage.
and told them they was gonna give them at least 25% of all labor construction costs to get in there. 25% was going to black business. And
Hmm.
while I think that at the end of the day, Enron was built with maybe 13%. And shout out to my friend Roosevelt Petrie, who was one of those, because at least they had the presence of mind to say that it didn't have to be all Houston, but someone connected, and Roosevelt, was able to participate in that. But my thing was, absence of them even saying 25%. I doubt if they would have got to 13. And people may want to say, well, they fell short. But absence of a goal, what can you expect to get out of this 264 million? Absence of any talks of disbursement of funds, because this is all about money.
Yes, 100% about money. Money that we
Accepting
And
ain't
debt
ever
without
seen.
delivery.
when you see one person already short planning, you got to ask yourself, well, who are these other folks? Who are these other tokens sitting at the table? Because
I
these
promise.
folks are just there for show.
Facts. 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 To do the bidding of those that don't want to show their face or their original intent.
But you
And,
know 'em
and,
when you
and,
see
and,
them.
and, and
I
let
was
me
about to
say
say,
that. And let
Terry,
me
you
say
got the
that.
floor.
And I'm an Astros fan. I'm an Astros fan. But was it worth it?
Hmm.
Hell no.
Hmm.
Because they still paying for it. They still paying for it. Terry, you have the floor. If the last bond
You
failed to
can't even
deliver,
rent a car. You can't even rent a car without paying for it.
Hmm.
or your cell phone bill, how about it? Y'all better
Right.
peep that in Houston. Terry, if the
Hmm.
last bomb failed to deliver, why are we even entertaining another? And what does this say about our memory as voters or past voters? Because
Well, first,
I wasn't able to vote.
first thing you got to think about is why do we need a bond at this time? For one, we need one because we didn't fell so far behind on things,
Hmm.
and even what we're getting right now is not going to be enough money to do the things
Exactly.
that we need. It's not going to even that's not even half of what we need to
Yes.
get things back. And this not gonna how much business do you think this money is gonna bring to Beaumont?
None. None.
You,
It's to none. I'll wait till you
it's,
finish.
it's not gonna bring $265 million.
Right.
back to us. So the like say the burden falls back on us,
Right.
and they want to make it like, well, if it fails, it's on you. It's your fault, and
It's
that's
their
that.
fault for recommending it.
Oh, exactly.
Tied to these
And
propositions.
and it's unfortunate that we living in a city that budget that can't even keep this city afloat. We have a 330 million dollar budget, and that can't even keep us afloat.
That part. So two
But
hundred sixty-four million ain't
what that's
nothing
gonna
but for
do?
your yeah, all that is your operating budget.
And next year, what you gonna do? Go out and get another one to try to
Another bump.
boost it back
Ain't
up to
that man?
what? I
You
mean,
did you did better keeping with the 100 what was that? What was the initial bond that they was trying to do?
two
Billion?
ten,
Yes.
two ten,
It was
210 at first.
it was $1 billion bond, right?
1.5 billion is what
Yes.
for everything.
You should have kept that. You should have kept that amount.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
way, you would have been able to cover these streets. And I'm talking about more than Doucette, Madison, and Sycamore. I'm Sycamore and Carroll,
And how
or
many
7th
drainage
Street.
projects they got? How many?
None,
I'm talking
none.
about how many
They got
drainage projects they got in this bond.
none.
What, four?
No, that's not a drainage project.
Well, I mean,
That's a
what they call
cleaning
a drainage
project.
pro. Yeah, what they
That's a
call a
cleaning
drainage
project.
thing
That's what you're supposed to do on a regular basis.
on a regular
Maintain my
basis.
city on a regular basis.
But you got all those screens that's supposed to protect the drainage system. They all clogged up. You
Um,
hadn't been cleaning them.
Well, I was about to say, well, you remember the last management said we had no infrastructure issues.
Oh yeah, yeah, right. And I don't have gray hair, so.
Me either. Mine is platinum.
But like I said,
Um,
we got
Go ahead, brother.
we living in a city that can't even be supported by the budget that we have.
Mm,
So why do you want to go add and put us further and further into the negative? We're
right.
not gonna never get ahead like that. Never. That's all I got. So
Dustin, you had the floor.
Some people saying the street, new face, new case. Got some new people in office. They doing the same stuff the old ones doing in office. So give them a chance, allow
Man,
them to mess up, and then treat them like they should be treated. Which
correct.
it is what it is.
Well, I'm not gonna give him time to play in my phase. I'm gonna let you know hey, that's not our agreement. But go ahead, brother. That was it, Dustin?
Oh, that was it for them.
Oh,
This bond stuff ain't complicated. You trying to take
no,
2 + 2 and multiply by 30? No,
yeah,
the answer is no.
it's simple. It's
You
just
ain't gonna have
simple.
me. Ain't no
what you say? Ain't no
eloquent
need to
way to
reach around.
explain
Yes.
this. This is foolishness. I
What
printed out this stuff just so I could see what the numbers was to each thing. Now that I can see it, I definitely don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I definitely want us to know that this isn't just about memory loss. This particular segment isn't about memory loss at all. What it is about elders or our elders and or because we identify the difference between elders and our seniors did not enlighten us on the bond that they voted for when we was in our toddler age or as a preteen. So um if we didn't have an idea of where y'all came from back in the yonder, why would you approach us with the issues y'all was trying to resolve from back in the yonder? These aren't new issues. These aren't new problems that just so happen to come up because of the newly elected representatives that we have on council. Mind you, this also has nothing to do with the current management and or his team that we have. This
No.
has everything to do with the lackadaisy, lackluster, like my cousin Candace Matthews say, lackluster representation that has been presented to the citizens of Beaumont for over 34 years, for over 43 years, for over 53 years, for over 63 years. And I know it was 63 plus years because I did my homework. I found out how y'all swindled these people long before you proposed this bond back in the 70s and the 60s, because,
Mhm.
especially because we were what you call segregated communities. And then you had us to vote in these particular segregated communities, and resources that were supposed to come to us, that was due to us because we were the uninsured and the underinsured. You fucked us. And that's, I meant that.
I got one thing to say that I'm gonna have to go, y'all. First, I want to give a shout out to
Mm-hmm.
Perry. Shout out to Perry who got me to be the person I am today. He told me always, man, get off of Facebook and get involved. So I'm always appreciate you for that.
Yes.
Thank you,
And,
T.
and I
Thank you, T.
want to close by saying anybody that's looking at this bond, you need to vote with your wallet because that's where it's going to hit you at
Yeah.
in your wallet. And
Yeah.
if you feel like you can't afford this, don't you do it because
Don't you do it.
you're gonna be part of the problem and you're gonna be no part of the solution. So
The solution.
I appreciate y'all letting me come on, but it's past
Hey
my
man, I
bedtime, y'all.
appreciate
Always
you for
love
coming on.
Perry. Love you, man.
Love you, man. I
Uh
appreciate you, Perry, man. I do. I'll holler. Dustin, it's good to finally meet
I'm
you,
gonna
man.
definitely get ready to. Absolutely, man.
Cat. I can only person call
Absolutely.
you Cat. So
Nah, nah, you ain't the only one.
yeah, I've
Meow.
been.
Good night, brother.
Miss Cat,
Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Miss
Good night.
Cat,
Hey.
give us something to wrap up the rest of the week. We're gonna scratch
Oh.
that question, that next question, but we're gonna definitely come with it next week. I told y'all keep picking at this, so I'm gonna make it bleed. Go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna take a page from Perry's book. Okay. Yeah. In Luke 16:10, it says, whosoever is faithful with little will be faithful with
With
much.
much. My God.
If leaders broke promises on the last bond, why hand them 30 more years of debt? Our
Mm,
vote is our power. Bury it, we lose it. Use it, and we protect our future.
yes. I totally agree. Powerful. Perry, give us something for the rest of the week.
Oh wow. I go back to Dr. Maya Angelou. So, when people show you who they are,
Believe them.
believe them. You know, and I say that as the youngest child of the family. Because as the youngest, one of the hardest things to do is really gain your voice. Because other folk have already set the precedent.
Yes.
And it's just something about being the youngest child. Dustin, I'm sure
Mhm.
you have kids. You see the difference in that youngest child. That youngest child is different than all the others because I got to find my position. And so Beaumont, I'm just saying, we got to be the youngest child. I understand the tradition, I understand all of the accomplishments. And I love my brothers and sisters. All of them.
Always. Yes.
Always love. But when you don't see me going your way, I'm just saying, fuck you. I'm just going another way. And it's all
Yeah.
love.
Yeah. All in love.
It's all in love. And so we got to break some of these traditions and set a new path
Hmm.
and
Dustin.
see the
Oh, my
BS for
bad.
what
My
it
bad.
is. No, I'm just saying, and see this BS for what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. Especially the BS for what it is and where it got us.
Word of
Right.
the week.
Dustin, you have the floor. Give us something for the rest of the week. Or the word of the week.
Well, word of the week, phrase of the week. Word of the week today is coachable.
Coachable?
Yes, coachable, because they like to come at these kids. Tell them, oh, you gotta be coachable is someone who is open, receptive, and eager to learn from feedback, guidance, and training to improve their skills, performance, and overall development.
Right.
That sounds good, but if a trash can is trying to coach you, how much coaching you get? So y'all gotta realize, y'all out here asking these kids to be coachable, but you ain't a coach. You just
I
a
love
person
it.
with a whistle.
Oh,
So get yourself into a position where you can be coachable yourself and be a coach, so you can coach the kids and not just
Thank
use
you,
it for
Lord.
wins
Thank
off
you,
their
Lord.
talent.
come
Y'all
on,
have a good one.
man. They gonna put
What
us
they
off of this
say
show.
from the look, they say from
From the
the
mouth of
mouths of
babes.
babes. God has ordained truth.
Man, I definitely want to thank each and every one of you all for tuning in to this week's Roundtable Talk Show. Miss Regina Brooks Gordon, thank you for tuning in, Queen. We enjoyed
Love you,
you.
Regina.
Miss Dolores Moore Smith, thank you, Queen, for tuning in. We enjoyed you as well and your engagement. Um, Miss Lillian Brown, as always, we appreciate you tuning in here at the Roundtable Talk and on the Knowledge is Power podcast live. Again, tune in this Sunday for Tony Renfro's show, the Knowledge is Power podcast live at 7 o'clock this Sunday. 7 o'clock this Sunday. If you could, please share this live, share this information, engage in your community, and let them know, hey, we have a bond issue going on. But let me speak directly to the soul of the people right here, right now. This bond ain't progress. That's not progress. This is not progress. It is pressure, like almost force feeding us to take this as an investment. It ain't an investment. It's indenture. I heard someone say sharecrop earlier in the segment. This is indenture. And if you are looking to become a servant for the rest of your existence here in the city of Beaumont until you move, and when you move, perpetuate those that you love or allege love to the same standard or the same subjugation here in the city of Beaumont, you, my friend, are our worst enemy. They are beating they are beating us at the poll and betting on our silence because we don't show up. Not because we don't have the number, but because we don't show up. So they're anticipating on you and many like you not to show up to this ballot. Especially with a lot of people saying, I'm not voting for that. No, we're voting no for that. That's what it is. And until you can respect us as the people that have to pay for this debt you're trying to impose on us, you either go back to the table, you either reselect some individuals that looks like the populace of this city. You either do that, or again, you'll be in this situation, in this rut, trying to increase taxes to a city of individuals that are no longer here. But we will not be silent. We're voters. We're watchers. And if there's more individuals like me and you all that are paying attention on the day, we're the warriors of our children's future. Show up, speak out, and stay prayed up. Again, stay prayed up. Stay prayed up. Thank y'all for watching. God bless. Good night. You tell the people bye? Tell the people bye.